Hello, I am the Gentlemanly Gamer.
And I'm Zane Taicho.
Welcome to the Undisputed Nerds YouTube channel. You're about to watch a clip from our podcast, which we do every week, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of your other favourite podcast platforms.
Don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hope you enjoy the clip. Many franchises, don't they? Like there's Star Wars Monopoly, there's like anime-based ones I saw recently. Yeah, that's wild.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Anyway, moving on. So this one kind of skirts the cusp of being Marvel again, because just from the company that owns it. But
Okay.
I think we can all agree, one of the greatest comic book movie films that's ever existed, Zane. I mean, as soon as I say some of the stars of it, I think that you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot off some names for you, and you try and tell me exactly who it is. What film it is. So
right.
John
Fashanu,
obviously, he's in everything. Petter Wilson, Stuart Townsend, Jason Fleming. You still not getting it?
No.
Richard Roxburgh. You want one more, and this is the one that you'll get it on?
Okay.
Sean Connery.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I am, of course, talking about the fantastically awful League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's coming back, baby. Apparently, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is being rebooted for Hulu, THR reports. The Disney Studio division under 20th Century Studios will be responsible for the reboot, which will be written by Justin Haythe, who is responsible for Revolutionary Road and Red Sparrow, and produced by Susan Montfort, Erwin Stoff, and Don Murphy, the latter having also produced 20th's original adaptation of the series back in 2003.
No.
Written by Alan Moore and illustrated by artist Kevin O'Neill. The League is set in the Victorian England and borrows elements of stories like Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, yada 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 yada. Thoughts on this one coming back, Zane? I'll tell you what. I was actually, I will say this just before, because the book itself is incredible. Like, if you haven't read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he did a number of them. They range from fantastical to really horrific bits in it. I think it did win the National Comics Award, I think, in '99 for like the best comic or something like that. But the books themselves, Alan Moore has gone on record as saying the books themselves were specifically written and drawn to not be translated into television and film. He did not want them translated into television and film. They are supposed to be a fantastical medium that exists only in comic books. I was on board for an adaptation and a reboot of it until I read that the same producers who did the god-awful movie are also going to try and do the series. What are your thoughts on this one, buddy?
It's wild, because that movie is almost like a staple of its time when it came out. Like it has those sort of, I don't know how to call them, those markers of the action comic book movie at that time, the obvious plot twists, the weird, I can't even remember some of the weird stuff in it.
For those of you who weren't born in the era that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out, because me and Zane were both young men when that came out. I know, shocking, right? Who would have thought that I could have been a young man once? Anyway, if you don't want to watch the full film, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend watching the full film, but if you want a flavor of exactly what comic book movies were like at the time, go and watch the trailer for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and basically you'll get almost the entire plot plus exactly what the movie is like in that 2-minute trailer. That's all you need. I didn't realize, though, it wasn't a flop technically. It made its money back. Yeah, it had a budget of $78 million and it grossed $179 million worldwide, which means it basically, you take its budget and then double it for the marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
and it made its money back. So it wasn't a flop, but it was awful.
It's that movie, and like everyone has one-liners. No one has real
No, exactly.
conversations. Everyone talks in one-liners, which is just hilarious but awkward at the same time.
There's a bit where I remember vividly. There's a bit in the film where Quatermain, who is Sean Connery, he's trying to recruit Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
And they're being he's chasing them across the rooftops, and Mr. Hyde throws a chimney at him, which he has to like make Tom Sawyer dodge before he gets hurt. Oh yeah, Tom Sawyer's in this, and he wasn't in the book either. Don't know why. Anyway, and like Connery's response to almost being slapped in the face by a chimney is to go, "Oh, that was naughty." Like, what is that?
It's just amazing. At the time as well, I don't know why, but in my head canon, actually I know why. In my head canon, I thought this movie and the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing were the same universe.
Jesus Christ! Yes, because of Mr. Hyde, probably I would guess, but yeah. Oh man,
it's because the same actor who played as Moriarty in
Richard Roxburgh, yeah, he was Dracula, wasn't he?
He was Dracula, yeah.
He was everywhere in the early 2000s.
He was everywhere.
He was in Mission Impossible 2. He was in Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
Like, he's in everything. I was like, what the hell happened to Richard Roxburgh? He was great. He's a great actor, but yeah, it's just so weird. It was just so weird. God, that's another weird film. We should totally do a retro review of Van Helsing as well. That would be amazing. I would love to watch back that awful film. And Lee, we should totally start doing this. We should totally start doing retro reviews of these things. Just
let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments like what retro action movie you'd love us to review. Because I remember loads of people saying Van Helsing was like the pinnacle of like DVD experience. Do you remember that? Like on the verge, like no.
I remember everyone saying because they had that amazing comparison where they liked to compare Hugh Jackman to Harrison Ford, and I remember at the time of Van Helsing coming out, I remember there was like loads of articles where it said if X-Men was his Star Wars, then Van Helsing could be his Indiana Jones. And I was like, wow, that hasn't aged well.
Who wrote that? That must be IGN.
It was Empire. I think it was Empire magazine.
Oh, wow.
Who wrote it at the time. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's all the tips and bits for this week. And speaking of retro reviews, what are we doing, Zane?
We are going to take a look back at the fantastic Phantom Menace, which
Phantom Menace.
I think is a great title. Like maybe too good a title for this movie.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know whether you want to. I don't think we need to do spoilers, do we? For a film that's like. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
I guess at the top, I think in terms of what we should cover, plot, characters, visuals, and then action.
Ooh. I like this. I like where you've gone with this one. He's broken it down this week. Okay, plot wise. Right. So I was going to talk to you about this earlier on when we mentioned Star Wars before. I find the dichotomy of the trilogies fascinating, right? Now, I'm not talking... We'll leave the original trilogy to one side.